Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is the infamous broken M264 2-liter turbo engine that we had on the GLE 350 that went out at 57,000 miles, 56 some thousand miles. It didn't completely go out, but the noise is pretty obvious. So we replaced the engine already with a used one, and I did this a couple of days ago. It was kind of a crazy job, but we managed to do it. And the problem now is that I'm trying to investigate what actually happened. So I see a lot of failures on this engine. I'll probably tell you what I saw as kind of weird things that we can see for right away. There's a lot of plastic parts on this engine. So one cooling pipe on the side of the exhaust here actually is metal. This pipe is metal. It fits right here. So that's that's okay. Obviously, sitting right next to the turbo, this is gonna be overheating all the time. So that's a good part to install. But the other problem that we saw is this pipe that fits on the other side under the intake, and I can tell you right away how this was manufactured here. I've seen these on the Range Rovers exploding right here between the two molds. So I'm sure this pipe is going to be a weak spot, especially with this O-ring right there. That's probably going to be one of the problems that people are going to see with this engines. But it fits right here, right there, right under the intake. So that's a pretty weak spot. We also saw a bunch of connectors here. They go straight into the block with plastic connectors. There was a one temperature sensor that's on the other side actually. That was kind of in a weird place that we saw. I think it was all the way up here. Yeah, this is a temperature sensor right here for the coolant. A really bad place, and the temperature sensor is actually very weak. Also, another thing kind of weird is this kind of accumulation of dirt, oil and dirt right at the head gasket level. And we saw this primarily on the other side because there's more surface. But right here, this is not cool. I mean, 7,000 miles. Why? It almost seems that the head gasket was probably blown out, or it was about to go. As you can see, all this black right here. This is not good. What's next? So, disassembling this engine further. The first thing that I saw that was bad, that was affected, was these camshafts, and we can see a lot of bad scratches, as you can see right here. And actually, this is like tick 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 tick. These are like almost like steps, like steppings where the camshafts were running on top of the rockers, and they were getting pretty much wiped out, as you can see right here. Tick 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 tick. These little crazy lines. I've never seen this before, but this is a pretty bad damage. And I know that this has nothing to do with the oil, because you will see here that in some spots, so the camshaft got affected badly. And we can see in some spots where the cap actually is worn out a little bit, but then it's worn out really bad. Like right here, this is a bad wear. And then we go here, and see here we have bad wear. The same thing here, same thing here. And then all of a sudden this is not even worn out. So this is a defect in manufacturing. I'm sorry that I have to say it to Mercedes, but these engines are complete junk. So the two M64 engines, 2-liter turbo engines that they install on a lot of cars pretty much, these engines are junk. So You guys need to know this. You need to spread the word. Again, junks, complete junks. Look at the wear here, the wear scratches, and actually this one is the worst here. So why isn't this worn out here, but then it's worn out here? This is not due to oil, people. This is defective manufacturing. So camshafts are not in bad shape, but they're bad enough not to be used. Obviously the cap on the head is gone. I mean, these are kind of bad. They're not really bad. These could be kind of polished a little bit, but definitely the cap is gone. So defect in manufacturing, that's the first thing that I saw. Those are the lifters on the valves. The lifters, I can't really tell what's going on here because these are rollers, so we're not going to be able to see. Maybe it's just a few scratches here and there. We do see some scratches. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see some scratches, I guess. So some of them are bad. So definitely the rockers are gone, or the lifters. And I actually was trying to get this timing chain out, and very strangely I could not find a way to get the pins they're holding the actually the timing chain guides. So we're gonna try to get these out in a little bit because the head is ready to go out. I do see somewhere this is at 56,000 miles, guys. Again, very strange. I see wear here inside too. So this is not cool at all. And next thing is the head is ready to go, so we're gonna lift up the head and we're gonna see what's going on inside the cylinders. And guys, we just took the head out. Obviously this is junk. I'm not worried about anything breaking. The head gasket was kind of a little bit hard to get off. I don't know why, and there's a weird smell, like almost like burned up oil. The head gasket has this weird color too. I can't really tell if it was leaking or not. I don't see anything strange. I don't see any coolant or anything, so it doesn't look like anything's messed up. But I did try to push cylinder number 3, and it kind of moved the piston. So and right here we can see the scratching on the wall. So cylinder number 3 is definitely gone, and we had some misfiring messages with the mixture on cylinder 3. Number 2 is also gone. So this is definitely a manufacturing situation. We're gonna yeah, kind of moved the piston. The number 3 actually kind of made like a clicking noise, so we're going to spin the other. I'm gonna spin the other pistons so we can see what's going on here. Okay, number 2 and 3 all the way to the top. And let's see number 1. Number 1 has started also. It's gone, and number 4 is also gone. Okay, so all of them are pretty much done. This is really bad. Okay, these pistons are holding, but I know something's wrong with number 3. You can see what's wrong with it. It's down under. Look at the gap. It's not matching the top, where this is number 2 is almost to the top. Actually, it's at level with the head, where this one is so far down. It's actually gone. And here we go. It's twisting. Yeah, it's twisting left and right. So definitely number 3 is the main problem. And I mean, I was guessing it's number 3 because we had the messages of the misfire situation. What's going on with the wall here? Number 1, yep, scratches. Number 4, scratches. So whatever happened is there's a problem with this engine, multiple problems obviously, and excessive wear in the metal parts. And this is not due to the lack of oil or oil changes, because as you can see, pretty much when you open this head, the head is brand new. You see, that's a sign when the oil changes have been done. So 53,000 miles. I mean, look at this. You have look at the oil. We have no black residue, no overburnt oil. So this is not a lack of oil. I mean, I'm sorry, Mercedes. No, look at this. Look at how clean all the parts are, almost like brand new. So this is a defect in manufacturing. So this M264 engine is complete junk. So I'm gonna turn the engine upside down just to kind of see what's going on inside, but we can definitely tell. You can even tell from here, number 3 is down, so number 3 is gone. That's where the clanking noise was from. So let's put it upside down just as a last thing to see what's going on. But definitely junk manufacturing. Mercedes has gone to shit, and Mercedes is what it used to be. Mercedes is now complete junk. Okay guys, the engine upside down. This is a weird setup, I gotta admit to you. So this is the oil pump right here. Kinda, it looks okay, but here's the kicker on the oil pump. So we had a situation with the engine that we're installing, and we had to replace the oil pan on the engine that we got because it was from a GLC, and the block was the same, but there was a couple differences where we had to replace this cap here. That's the inlets for where the oil pump sucks the oil from the bottom of the pan. But here's the kicker: the tube actually that sucks the oil towards the engine, the oil pump, and towards the top of the engine or all over the engine is this plastic tube. Now this was on the GLC. The one we had on the GLE actually here is a much longer tube, and it has like a couple turns, which is even worse than this. So failure, yes. I mean this is an enormous failure. You do not install ever plastic tubes on the oil pumps, because this will fail. So I'm sorry again, Mercedes, junk. This is complete junk engineering. What's going on here? This is the balancer mechanisms, and it's actually built in the crankshaft. I don't think this is a good idea, because this is extra weight to the engine that's not supposed to be there. So really bad idea, Mercedes. I've never seen this. Maybe there's another engine like this, but I have not seen one myself. I know that this doesn't make sense, because this will just add more resistance to the crankshaft to actually spin. As you can see right here, that's where it's connected to on the bottom side. So we're gonna remove this out. I'm gonna go to the pistons to see what's going on. Also guys, just to give an observation, I just started removing these bolts on the oil pump. Very loose. I don't know what kind of torque these guys are using, but a bunch of the bolts on this engines were almost loose. I don't like that at all. So here's the oil pump. Kind of looks okay. Obviously we can't really tell anything, and I'm not even concerned with this. So we're going to disconnect this balancing machine, whatever balancing mechanism that they installed here, and then we're gonna get to the actual, we're going to get to the actual pistons, so we can look at the pistons. So I just untorqued these. I had to use the impact gun. It was just easier. Very strange bolts. And this has actually silicone. I don't know why. There's got to be silicone somewhere there, which is kind of bad anyway if you think about it. Okay, let's remove this. If I can grab this. Come on. Oh my god, this is heavy. Okay, this came out. This gotta weigh at least 20-25 pounds. So you can imagine this weight sitting right next or on top of the crankshaft. I mean, just very bad idea. What can we see here? Well, nothing visible here, but obviously we saw the walls, and from the head we can tell where it was hitting the head. That's the noise that we could hear. That clunking noise was number 3 was hitting right here, this line right here, this line, and then clearing this line on the sides. When they start hitting, that's what happens. Not in bad shape. I mean, overall 56 some thousand miles, pretty clean for a direct injection engine. A little bit of, you know, kind of dirt in there. The injectors were not in bad shape actually, so this is okay. The chain looks fine, definitely. The chain looks fine to me. We ended up breaking this because I don't care anymore. Definitely not a hole. Well, I do see somewhere. Yeah, there is a wear. I think this is too early to have this wear on this tensioner. Definitely wear on this side here. So yeah, I don't really like this at all. These ridges here. Yeah, so the head is clean besides the damage on the top. And here I'm going to disconnect the bearings and from the rods, and we're gonna try to see if we can push the pistons out. They should come out from the other side, obviously. Okay, let's remove the main bearing bolts. And we're going to remove the bolts on the bolts holding the piston rods. They're actually coming pretty easy. Oh yeah, number 3 is completely gone. It's literally twisting left and right. Man, all of these feel very loose. Let's see what's going on here. Oh boy. Oh boy. crankshaft bearing. Oh my god, these crankshaft bearings actually were spinning. They were spinning inside. Oh my god. This is nuts. Look at this damage, guys. That's cylinder number 4. The crankshaft's bearings are spun. What in the world is going on here? Okay, let's see the main bearings. Can we get this out? I know these will give us trouble. Okay. Main bearings. Damage. That is the bearing, yes. So this bearing is damaged, but it did not spin. So main bearing number 4. I'm gonna install them. We're gonna put them on the ground the way they're coming out. Let's see this. Okay. Oh, the bearing is in there. Let's see the bearing. Yeah, we have damage again. Yeah, there is damage right here. Yeah, this is definitely big time damage. And as you can see, it's actually pretty deep. Wow, this damage could have been after the fact, because we knew that this, something was released. So maybe this is metal particles after the fact. So mainly we look for the bigger damage in this case. The crankshaft actually is not damaged. Crankshaft is okay. Yeah, the crankshaft is fine. So let's move this out. The piston, I'm gonna push it down. That's piston number 4. Okay. Bearing on piston number 4. Come on. Why is it stopping? Ah, come on. It keeps on going down. There we go. Yeah, gone to heaven. It's completely gone. Bearings spun inside, as you can see, guys. And the other one also spun inside. Rod number 4. Rod number 4 spun bearings. Oh my god, I don't understand this. This doesn't make any sense. Crankshaft not in a hole. Not too bad, but it is bad, obviously. Let's see, number 3. Well, we know number 3 is going to be ugly, because let's remove some of this stuff. Number 3. Where are these bolts holding? Come on. There we go. You can see overheating marks right here. Bearing. Yeah, this bearing most likely probably spun also. Let me push down piston number 3. I just pushed it down. Yeah. Bearings are down there. Okay, let's get... Okay, let's get this one here. I'm going to use something to try to get these loose. And let's get to the next middle. Yeah, bearing is destroyed. Bearing is definitely destroyed. Side bearing, nothing wrong with it. Next main bearing is destroyed. So pretty much we'll have an enormous destruction. Yeah, bearing is gone. Bearings are gone. And okay, why isn't this moving? Let me see. Yeah, bearings are spun. Pretty much all the bearings have actually spun. I don't really understand what that... I've never seen this in my life unless there's a huge problem with an engine. This cannot be happening on a 56 mile engine, 56,000 mile engine. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, now everything is down there, but let's try to get this out. The bearing number 2 on piston number 2 is gone, but it didn't spin. Not that it matters anyway. Let me see if I can push cylinder 2. And we got a mess on number 1 because we have all these bearings here. Uh-oh. Just dropped my screwdriver in there. Okay, I'm gonna get it out and we're gonna start taking the pistons out. So I just turned the engine upside down. I managed to push all the pistons out. So this is number 4. Obviously bearing was spinning in the rod. Enormous wear here, enormous wear here, and this is very strange because I see a lot of these are burned deposits. The one thing about this engine, they suffer from slow pre-ignition problem situation, but that's not what we had in our case. This was just, I believe this is a defective engine, or I'm sure there are other engines because I've been contacted by other people here on YouTube and also online that this is a recurring problem with these 2-liter engines, and I've seen a few engines here coming through the shop that were bad with low mileage, about 60 to 90,000 miles they went out. So extreme wear here, extreme wear here. I don't know why we have all this burned up stuff here. This is not good. This is number 3. That's number 4. Yeah, the base looks fine, the pin looks fine. This is number 2. Number 2 is worn out, same way Teflon is worn out. A lot of blowback here. This is weird. And wear on a Teflon 2. Why this is happening here, this needs to be investigated. This is a lot of blowout here. This could be a big problem. Why this is happening here, I don't really understand this. I'm gonna have to investigate this a little bit further, because this could be the reason why these pistons actually resisted and started scratching the walls. Number 1, bad shape again. And here, oof, this is bad. Teflon is gone, but a lot of burn. This, you know, this is blow through the piston rings, blow burn. I believe this is what it's called. I'm gonna check this out later, but this is just not normal. I know this is not normal. Yeah, so obviously enormous damage on the bearings, and they spun. But also could be another reason is weak parts, because of the enormous force that this engine has to endure, because this engine should be about 120 horsepower normally to 130. With this turbo, Mercedes on this 2-liter M264 have managed to push this to the, I mean, after the limit, actually pushing 255 horses. I mean, this is not normal. Maybe this is the actual reason. I believe this would be the reason, actually. This is not oil. This is over pushing, you know, the limits of the engine, because you can see the oil is fresh. All the parts are pretty much clean. I mean, this is insane. I don't see any signs of anything else. And you know, the bearings are in bad shape. They are in bad shape. So they spun here and there. Obviously these are spun and these are spun. Yeah, and this one here is pretty much, yeah, this is gone. Actually, it's supposed to have a little ridge on the side, but this bearing is gone. Actually, it's very thin. I think this bearing failed completely. Yeah, this bearing failed completely, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the culprit of this, or that could be the first bearing that failed. And then whatever happened, you know, happened. But this, I've never seen a bearing like this fail like this. Yeah, these engines are complete junk, guys. We have more bearings here, completely destroyed on the, those are bearings on the rods. This is not a bearing, there's no bearing here. This is the bearing that we just saw. And the main bearings, obviously, they are scratched up like hell. Yeah, they're all scratched up. I think this, what we see here is a over pushed engine. That's my opinion. This is not normal 57,000 miles. I've had some people contacting me with telling me that their engines failed at 10,000, 5,000 miles, the same 2-liter turbo engines, and I'm gonna have to call Mercedes on this engineering and tell them you guys have failed miserably beyond any comprehension. This is abuse of parts, abuse of materials, abuse of whatever you want to call it, and of course, you know, planned obsolescence. Maybe that's what Mercedes wanted to do in the first place. They just made the engine to last as long as the warranty lasts, and then to explode no matter what happens. Yeah, damaged cylinder walls. All of this is gone. Complete junk. And plastic internal parts, guys. What do you think about this? That's the oil sucking tube. And that's a plastic cover on this mechanism there. But obviously, why would you have plastic parts there in the heat? Not good. I am angry. I loved Mercedes, and I'm gonna emphasize on the word loved in past tense. I would have never expected to see this from Mercedes, because they used to be very reliable back in the 80s, 90s, up to the 2000s, in 2000 and some, the middle of 2000s, and then from there on they just went to shit. Mercedes have lost. I will not recommend Mercedes to anyone anymore. It is a luxury car, but Mercedes have gone to the end of the desert, and just like everyone else, they are emphasizing on making money and selling cars and nothing else. So you guys take your thoughts when you see this, and you can talk to other people, consider this, but I know this is not normal for sure. This engine was not calculated for this power. I know that for a fact, and this is not due to oil. I know it's not due to oil. There's no way this oil would damage these parts. They're completely clean, and there's damage on very, very specific parts again. So with this, again, I'm sorry, Mercedes, complete junk. Will not recommend it to anyone. That's the engine, code 264 920, but it's the M264, guys. So do not ever get a 4-cylinder car from Mercedes, because this is what you're gonna endure most likely. What is gonna be during the warranty or not, you get lucky during the warranty, you replace it, but what happens after your warranty expires? So this is gone. I know everyone else is doing this nowadays, these car manufacturers, but still, this is bad. Mercedes, thumbs down. Unfortunately, no good, complete junk. So with all this adventure, guys, I'm going to finish this video on this M264 Mercedes junk. Again, do not buy any 4-cylinder Mercedes. I don't know whether the 6-cylinders or the V8s will be better than these. I know that they have problems with the V8s also, so I would not recommend Mercedes. Complete junk. Please, guys, spread the word on this Mercedes junk. M264 stupid engines, 2-liter turbo engines. Please, guys, spread the word. Again, I cannot explain to you how badly and stupidly, I mean, these were manufactured. Like just very, very bad engineering. Please spread the word, guys, please. I need Mercedes to see that we're not stupid, that we can see what they're making and how they're screwing all of us, and especially people that actually used to love Mercedes. So please, guys, spread the word, please. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons, because your support helps me to run this channel. And again, stay tuned for my next videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again. Thanks very much for watching.